I wanted to do some WMR or Watermelon Mountain Ranch updates, and also show you this video that I took July 26th, 2015. I hadn't been able to go to the ranch for like over 2 months. 2 months and then like 2 weeks. So, you know, I wasn't there for a really long time, and when I came back, I don't want to be like, oh, everything was different, because, you know, there were a lot of the same dogs there. Obviously, you can see Betty was there, Hiccup was there, Panda was there, Sadie, Angel, this dog Bodie, I don't know. It's like I'm just listing all the dogs that I know, that I remember. Autumn, the dogs Evangeline dogs I recognized that were there, and you can see she's still doing very good at loose leash. This walk was very short, and I filmed basically the whole thing, because it was really hot outside, and I have seen all the sort of graphic images that people post on Instagram of like, oh, what happens when you take your dog outside for a walk when it's really hot. But they don't ever say anything like about it. They just say, oh, here's some cream that you can put on, or they just advise you not to like take your dog outside when it's hot. I'm like, why not those little booties that they make? I mean, yeah, in general you should avoid it, because I also saw this Instagram thing of this one person whose dog passed out from heat stroke. So, I mean, in general, yeah, you shouldn't really take the dog outside when it's really hot for long periods of time. You should try to, if you have to go out in the middle of the day, try to stick to the shade. And if you absolutely can't, and you have no choice, and it's the middle of the day and it's really hot, then just keep it short, keep it quick, and that's kind of what I had to do here. Because there are no trees out there. If there were, not only it would be a beautiful place to walk dogs, and it would be so much better, like in the summertime when there are a lot of volunteers. It would be so much better, you know, to walk them out there in the nice and when it's nice and shady. And I'm not saying pave those roads or anything, because it's nice that they're like that, but plant some trees for shade. I mean, cottonwoods are really good, but there's no water. So anyway, kind of rambling for no reason. So my updates video, well, the main update that I wanted to give is that Kona was adopted about 2 months ago, like the same time I stopped going to same time I was unable to go to the ranch, like all the time. I had visited her she had gotten moved to another adoption center that was like in the city, and then a little while, like I visited her twice there, and then I went to go visit her again, but she wasn't there. And then I was told, kind of off to the side, oh, by the way, she was on trial adoption, but we weren't supposed to tell you. And I was like, okay. And then I never heard anything back about that, and they had told me, oh, we'll post it on the adoption center's Facebook page, and we'll tell you. Yeah, we'll tell you, you know, when she gets adopted. We'll post pictures of her and her new family and all that stuff. And I never saw anything. I checked like every single day, and I never saw anything. And I saw they have this this little counter type thing that counts how many dogs or how many lives they've saved at that rescue center, adoption center. And so in a subsequent picture, I saw that the number had gone up, but it was like there weren't any pictures of like a dog with his or her new family in between. One picture where I saw it was like 199, and then the next picture where I saw it was like 200 or like 201. So, you know, I was just really confused about that. The whole situation was very sketchy to me, and so I was like, I really hope that she's adopted. I really hope that she's been adopted. But I didn't really trust the people who were telling me, even though I'd worked with them for over a year. Most of these people, I mean, even if I hadn't worked with that particular employee or known them like for over a year, for the length of time I've worked with Kona, I still like had known them for, you know, a few months at least. So, and you know, they'd known that, you know, I went and hung out with Kona and that I trained Kona and that I had this, you know, particular, I don't know, relationship with her. But when I went back, I think it was, yeah, May 10th maybe, when I went the last time I had gone to visit Betty before this video was taken, and you can see that in my Ranch Vids playlist. The most recent video before this one is from May 10th. But anyway, like, when I went on May 10th, my mentor, who's also like the administrative head or assistant at the ranch, she's like, oh yeah, did you hear Kona had been adopted? I was like, oh no, I heard she'd been on trial. And then, the day this was filmed, July 26th, was it actually? Nuh-uh. I'm sorry, I apologize, it was actually July 25th. I'm confused because it is only 2 a.m. on July 27th, so I'm kind of convinced it's still Sunday, but it's not, it's Monday now. So, 25th. So I went on the 25th, this was filmed on the 25th of July, and I went, and this one guy who I had known almost as long as I had known, or as long as I had worked with Kona. Yeah, he's like, oh, by the way, did you hear Kona has been adopted? I'm like, yeah, I heard, like, you know, 2 months ago. That's kind of like, that's old news. But then he also told me that, Betty had been, like, there had been some lady who came from North Carolina to visit her, like, every other week and was planning to adopt her, but then all of a sudden they stopped, you know, hearing from her at all. And then, this other dog, he told me about this other dog. I'm like, I don't really, like, have any ties to that dog, but okay, thanks for telling me. You know, she was supposed to go to California, and people are supposed to come by and pick her up by the end of the month. So I mean, there's a lot of weird, sketchy stuff going on. I'm not saying this place isn't reputable, but it's, in my personal experience, oh god, you see right there, she'd been walking right in front of me, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was like staring straight ahead at the ground, like holding the camera and staring straight ahead at the ground, and then I like ran into her because she like decided to walk right in front of me. And she got all scared, and like, now she's like keeping her distance as much as possible. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's just my personal experience volunteering here, but I've encountered many sketchy sort of situations, and it's very disappointing to me that they can't be straightforward, you know? Like, I never mentioned this, but on YouTube anyway, but on my community service or my Kona training website, webpage or whatever, we had to create that for school, because this actually started out as a school project. I mentioned on there, I'd gone to like one of the large scale adopt-a-thons, and one of the ranch employees had told me, oh, your girl's been adopted. I was like, oh my god, and I was like kind of sad, but I, you know, was pretty happy too. And then when I went, like it was like 2 weeks or something after that I went to the ranch, that I saw Kona, and I was so sad. I was like, wow, they lied to me. And that same employee who told me that your girl's been adopted, she apparently was the one who was like plotting, who was conspiring to make sure that I didn't hear about this trial adoption. Because the guy at the city adoption center is like, oh yeah, you know, so and so, her name, you know, told all of us, don't tell anyone, don't let it get outside of this adoption center, don't let anyone know about it. But with like the intent of me not knowing about it, I mean, I don't think it was, I mean, I understand that you don't want to broadcast the trial adoption, because then you're putting a lot of pressure on the family in case it doesn't work out. You're putting a lot of pressure on them, and you're gonna, you know, really it's like you're really trying to humiliate them if it doesn't work out. and being like, you monster, you criminal, you didn't adopt this dog and they needed a home. So I understand why you wouldn't broadcast that and you'd wait until they were actually adopted, but the fact that they never even posted it is just really sketchy to me. Like, wouldn't they want me to know that? Because then I could rest easy. I would stop blackmailing them and being like, wow, why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you send me like a picture, at least one picture of, you know, her with her new family? I'm like, why didn't you at least acknowledge me? And I'm not saying like I'm the most important, but like, given all the work I've done with her, it's like the fact that you didn't even like shoot me an email or post it on Facebook to all the people who follow you and know about your adoption center in the city. Hey, this one dog who we've had at the ranch for over a year has been adopted. Like, wouldn't you be proud of that? Wouldn't you want everyone to know about that? Not just me, but wouldn't you want everyone to know about that? Like, wouldn't it be like such a success story you'd want to share it? But anyway, so that's what happened. She was adopted, supposedly. I'm really not sure about that, but I really hope she has been adopted because I haven't gone back to that adoption center. Partially because, like, I don't want to have the same thing happen to me, where, like, I'd been told that she was adopted, and then I went back. Like, oh, I'll start anew, you know? It's like a new chapter, new dog, you know, new adventures, and then I get there and I see her again, and I just get so sad that they lied to me, and so sad that she wasn't actually in a home. She was just sitting in a little like concrete box, just waiting. But anyway, I'm gonna just kind of try to cut this short. Well, I'm just keep it the duration of this video here, and it's kind of ending soon. So you can see Betty is still very good on leash. I mean, look at that right there. Still very good. I mean, just a few seconds earlier, she'd been like healing right next to me. But the thing was, I went to go see her, and obviously I hadn't seen her in like 10 weeks or something like that. And so I went to go see her, and she didn't really seem excited. Like, I just walked in, I walked into her kennel, and she didn't really even seem to care. She was just kind of like, oh, there's a person. Then she went to go. I have the video of Kona and Angel doing a run back and forth thing. She was doing that with this one other dog. She just went to go do that, and I was like, oh, okay. And she like didn't even like pay attention to me at all. And I tried to get her to sit, and she only did it like one time. And then I asked her to do it like 20 more times after that, and she didn't do it. And it wasn't so much that, you know, maybe she forgot it, but it's like, yeah, it's like 10 weeks, and who knows what happened in that lady from North Carolina and all that stuff. So anyway, she was just really different, and I mean, she looks like she's gaining a little bit of weight, which is good. So yeah, that's everything, I guess, because this is going to end with sex, so. Alright. I will catch you later with more YouTube videos.